be fruitful, a time to gain, not to lose. In the springtime that I'm about to show you, these words are just growing, just starting to exist.
Go!
Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes.
Most of these kids have known one another since they were little children, innocent.
Get out. Stop it.
But these aren't children anymore. Something was introduced into their lives when all of us parents had our heads turned. If the founding fathers were with us today, would they even recognize what we've become? What our children have turned into? If Walt Whitman were writing Leaves of Grass today, what words would he hear America singing?
Damn!
Shit! Fuck!
Bitch!
Knock it off!
Knock it off!
I mean it! He means it!
Loser!
Idiot. Truth. In the beginning, there was truth. It didn't last very long. This is my son, Randy. And this is where it happened. I don't know what exactly. I was at home, asleep with my wife. Nobody knows what happened. At least not the people who talk. You see, in this case, there are two kinds of people. The people who talk and the people who don't talk. I assume that the people who don't talk to other people who don't talk. But you would be surprised to know just exactly what isn't said.
To the club! Yeah! Time to get 3.2.
5-0.
80 proof.
94 proof.
Tequila!
If all of the unsaid things suddenly became said things, why, the little town of Linwood, Kansas would crumble with the noise, the deafening echo of treacherous tales.
Sir, how do you know they were drinking? Do you have proof?
Proof? Well, that's the strangest word of all. How can you prove anything?
I don't feel good. He's drunk!
No, my son didn't do that sort of thing.
I have been to see the man with the pipe on the old iron bridge.
As have I.
As have we.
The old iron bridge, where kids go. You know, drink, get high, whatever. All I'm saying is that some of them are lying. They started out with one kind of sketchy story, and then someone said something different or wrong, and got caught in it. And pretty soon what she said contradicts what he said, which leads someone else to say something different, something impossible. A lot of contradictions, and not one straight story. And just when you think that the whole house of lies is going to come tumbling down, just when you think that he's going to reappear after all this time, he's gone again. Most of them claim that
I wasn't there. She was there. I saw you. I talked to her.
Christ, what they did, what they said, it's all a mystery.
So, Randy, what are you going to do after graduation next month?
Oh, I don't know. Just might go out, hang out, take it easy. I've earned it. My old man says I've earned it. My mom, too. Just don't want to make any big decisions.
We told him that he could do whatever he wanted that summer. We were proud of him. Some people expect great things from their children, expect them to grow up to be doctors or politicians. We just wanted Randy to be a good man, to carry on our name and the legacy. I am of the opinion that good men are great men.
So, Randy, what are you going to do after graduation?
Think about getting out of Linwood. Just picking up and moving, not telling a soul. Just the wind through my hair, you know?
You want to go for a little walk with me?
That'd be all right.
You wish. Want to go smoke with me?
That'd be a good time.
That chance.
Nobody knows what they said, what they did, not precisely. There are stories, That one there was involved with Randy for a little while before the party. They were a volatile couple, to say the least.
I hate her more than anything, but
But you just can't seem to get her out of your head.
she's everywhere I go.
Randy, you'd do better off to forget about it. Move on. There's plenty of fish in the car.
I know.
He didn't listen to me. They were together, then apart. Then together, and then apart. She had problems, this girl. That's one thing that you never want your kid to come home with. Someone else's problems.
I want to help you.
Christ. That's what everyone's always telling me. I don't want to be saved. I want to enjoy my life.
I know that. Don't you think I know that? I want to have fun too. It's just that you're so reckless.
He cared about people.
He carried my backpack for me for 8 weeks when I had my cast on last fall.
Is that right?
Should have gone out for football. It's kind of pussy of him not to.
He had bad knees. It runs in the family.
Maybe after the summer's over, we could go into town, rent a little apartment. We could sleep together, ride to work together. We could.
Yuck. That's what I have to say to that. Yuck.
What is it you want?
Oh, what's the matter? Is the little baby upset? Is the little baby boy mad about the little baby girl that won't let him stick his little baby pee-pee into her? Don't you have enough as it is, you spoiled little shit?
Shut up! You all shut the hell up! I'm out of here.
Don't leave yet, Randy. Fun's just beginning.
Yeah, come on, man. Relax. You got plenty of alcohol. Girls enough for everybody. Didn't mean anything by it.
It was a great night for a graduation party. Cool weather, but not too cold. And there was no one around for miles. They had a great big bonfire to get warm next to if they did get chilly.
You know what I'm going to miss the least about high school?
What?
School dances. I was just going to say that. Bullshit. That is so weird.
Oh my god, that is so weird. You're like psychic and shit.
If you're psychic, what's gonna happen to the rest of our lives?
That's a stupid question.
Excuse me.
Why? I think it's a good question.
It's a bullshit Breakfast Club question. People always think that we're these caged little intellectuals with nothing on our minds but popping our cherries and getting wild.
That's not who they are. Not at all.
What's wrong with that?
There's more. To some of us, there's a lot more. Hidden elements which are only visible at night.
It's true. Did you ever see The Lost Boys?
That all makes sense. You guys so are vampires. The blood on your shirt last week, that satanic Bible you're always carrying around at school. I command thee, Lucifer, to arise!
Oh no! Oh Lord! Oh
Quit changing the goddamn subject! What's the future hold for us?
Cared about that sort of thing. The future. He wanted to make a life for himself.
I woke up this morning and I thought, what if this was the last day of my life? What would I have to show for it? Zip. Total zip. Nothing. You know what? Maybe I should just flee or get out of Dodge or something. I don't know.
Don't beat yourself up. I think you've done a good deal for Linwood. Why, if it wasn't for you, there would be grass up to my knees in places.
An abundance of candy bars and soda pop.
I wouldn't have had a date to the prom. I wouldn't have had a friend.
Really?
Randy, you're the only real friend I've ever had.
Liar.
I wasn't even there!
Bullshit.
And so on and so forth. The only person that I know was at that party without a shadow of a doubt is my son. And I don't know where he is right now. Oh, there's no shortage of anonymous tips.
We dredged the river, we searched the cave, we combed the grounds, nothing.
If he was the son of rich parents, I can guarantee you'd get results.
I know someone who knows something. I saw something.
I can take you to him.
I know where he is.
I must have had 20 different people come up to me and tell me that they know where my son is, or that they know somebody who knows someone who knows where my son is. All lies! That's a whole different species of word, the lie. It flies around better than the other words and infects the good words if there ever were any in the first place. Were you with my son last night?
No, I haven't seen Randy since.
Since he stopped up at the gas station and got 2 candy bars and 2 sodas. It's not all that unusual. He'd been out mowing on his new rider all day. He wasn't even sure if he was going to the party or not.
I didn't see Randy at the gas station.
I saw him driving Randy's car that day. He is a liar!
Guys, that's enough! Enough. It was April 15th, 1988. Early evening. Randy had just finished mowing our yard after a long day of mowing for other people. I was out in my repair shop working. That's what I do. I repair things.
What's wrong with it?
I can't figure it out. I checked the spark plug, I checked the oil, I was about to tear the whole thing back down.
Does it have gas in it?
Of course it has gas in it. I think. Okay. Yeah, give it a go. All right. It's a strange moment when your son starts one-upping you. It's a good moment, though.
What about Mom's car? Does it have gas in it?
Hey, you watch it. Hey, you better take some money just in case. So, where you headed tonight?
Oh, there's a party out at some people's land.
People?
Nobody you know.
I doubt if there's anybody in Linwood that your mother and I don't know. You be careful.
Aren't I always?
He was always careful. If he was going to be late, he'd call. If he'd had a beer or 2, he'd call one of us for a ride. He knew that we preferred to know the truth about what he was doing rather than have him out risking his life driving drunk or something. It was April 15th, 1988. The day that changed our lives forever. Randy was 17, clean cut, hardworking. He didn't do drugs.
We went out to the old iron bridge and got high.
I don't feel so good. I think I'm drunk.
It was around 2 o'clock in the morning. That girl there, she's too young to be out drinking. And those 2 guys say that they gave her a ride home so that she wouldn't get into trouble.
I'm sorry we've been fighting.
Me too.
It would have been just a sliver of a moon that night.
So what are you going to do after graduation?
I don't know. Something. Maybe nothing.
I'm serious, Randy. Where are you going to go? Are you going to get a job? Stay with your parents? What?
Why is it suddenly so important what I'm going to do? I mean, one minute you love me, then the next minute you hate me. Now you're dying to know what I'm going to do next month? Christ, I'll probably stay with my parents, or I might go to trade school, or I might just get a job.
I don't love you one minute and then hate you the next.
Yes, you do.
Well, it's your own fault if I do. You're the one who can't accept me for who I am.
Who the hell are you? I mean, yesterday you said you never talk to me again. Today you're kissing me in front of half the graduating class. A week ago you were too paralyzed with grief to even move. And then next week you'll probably be drunk off your ass leading sing-alongs. So no, I can't accept you for who you are because I can't even figure it. You're a lunatic!
Let's run away together. You and me together. We can leave tonight before the others get back. No one would even see us.
And what would we use for money?
Isn't there an ounce of romance in you, Randy Leach? If we have love, We don't need money.
I can never run away with you.
Why?
Well, because I'd be worried that the first good-looking, rich guy that saw you would steal you away from me. And I just couldn't do that to him.
You know what?
What?
You can go to hell.
To hell.
I hope the devil comes out of the ground tonight, rips you to pieces, and sucks you into a pit of fire!
2 billion women in the world.
And I had to pick a woman. I taught him that one.
Maybe he had an argument with his girl and drove off when no one was looking. But he was too drunk, you see. Drove right off the road and into the river. Maybe he passed out at the wheel. Maybe he never even realized he ran off the road. Either way, he couldn't get out because of the water pressure and him being too drunk.
So tell me, nobody's seen that car there at the bottom of the river in all this time?
The river was up at that time.
The goddamn river has been bone dry several times since then.
Sir, I'm afraid I can't help you if you're going to be constantly undermining me and losing your temper.
Well, wouldn't you lose your temper if the police took their sweet time trying to find your son? You got 1 day. 2 days, tops, when a person disappears. They didn't even bother to interview half the kids that were at the party. They didn't bother to ask her anything.
Nothing happened at the party. It was a regular, run-of-the-mill teenage party.
No big deal.
They didn't check the lake behind his house.
We had a few drinks, sure. There were some people smoking pot, that was it.
I left early. I left almost immediately because I saw some people.
People? What people?
Just people. You know, people who didn't have any business being in a Linwood graduation party.
What were their names?
Oh. I don't know.
Days disappear. Weeks. No word. No trace of him. He was gone. Nothing. Ran off. Why in the hell would he run off? He had everything he wanted right here. His family, his friends, a great car. My wife and I, we got him this great car as a pre-graduation present.
I can't believe it's mine.
Well, you earned it, son.
Oh, this is gonna be a chick magnet. Cherry red Mustang, 1966. They don't make them like this anymore.
Well, just needs a little bit of work, and it should be ready for you to drive by, say,
Memorial Day.
the solstice, more likely.
But that's the longest day of the year.
Right.
I can't wait that long. God.
And when the summer solstice came, when the sun is farthest away from the earth, the car sat there, empty. It's the loneliest thing I ever saw.
I can't take it anymore. I don't care. I don't care about no Mustang. I don't care. I just need to get away from my parents, away from my friends.
Hey,
No offense.
why? You don't have it so bad.
I just need to go somewhere over the summer. To think.
Where are you gonna go?
I don't know. California, maybe.
All the leaves are
All the leaves are brown.
and the sky is gray.
And the skies. What they got in California that we don't have in Kansas?
An ocean.
Oh shit, you can swim in Bear Lake.
I just need something different.
And what about your Mustang?
Who cares?
Your parents?
I'll write when I find work.
Hey, if you're gonna ditch town, can I have your Mustang?
Sure, but you might have to fight my dad for it.
I can take him.
You're not going anywhere. No shit. You're gonna stay right here in Linwood till you either get married and find yourself a job in Topeka or Kansas City, or you're gonna move to Lawrence and make the transition to some long-haired townie who feeds off the incoming freshman girls each year.
Hey, I think my mom dated the guy you're talking about. That was awesome, dude.
This is just a joke? You guys seriously think I don't have the balls to do it?
Sorry.
I can't believe this. My friends, the people who are supposed to support me in this world, think I don't have the balls to pack a bag and drive to the ocean. To lie around the beach all day, getting lotion rubbed on my back by smoking hot girls. You honestly think that's any kind of decision?
Did you tell your mom or dad?
Why should I?
Why don't you go inside? Use the phone. Call 'em up. Hey, Mom, Dad, I'm gonna go have sex with beautiful girls on the beach. Protection? Of course I'll use protection. I mean,
They
come
do
on.
make them an extra small, right?
At least I'll be doing something. Y'all spend the rest of your lives in Linwood, getting knocked up by various scuzzbags, drinking yourselves into comas, and then maybe, if you're lucky, you'll get a job with the city and get fat and TV'd into yourselves to death.
I can see the big back.
You know what? Screw you all. Someday you'll see me out there tan and happy, living the dream.
I'd be safe and
I'd
warm.
be safe and warm
If I was in LA.
if I was in LA.
California,
California dreaming
on such a winter's day.
Hey,
Let me guess, you haven't been on the streets long.
I guess not.
Well, if you're gonna be without a roof, it is a goddamn pleasure to have the Hollywood stars.
I guess so. It's not quite like I thought it'd be, though.
Oh, you were expecting hot sand and Vanna White.
No. I just thought, well, maybe some girls. Who the heck knew it got so cold at night?
You want some advice?
No.
If you got anything at all back home, wherever the hell you came from, go back there. Go back to your folks, or go back to your girl. Just get the hell out of California, because you are never gonna make it work.
What do you know?
What do I know? I know that in a month, you'll either be dead or damaged goods. I know that pretty soon, $10 to get in the back of some strange guy's car is gonna seem like a reasonable deal.
Can you just leave me alone, please?
How bad was it? Place where you came from.
Who said it was bad at all?
Something had to be wrong if this is your best option. Oh, come on, kid. You're not gonna find much better conversation than me on a night like this.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I've got a good home and I've got friends. And
Bullshit! People don't leave good homes. People don't leave good situations.
Well, maybe I did. Did you ever think of that?
Did your old man hit you? Did your mom steal your paycheck? Did your girlfriend dump you?
She didn't dump me. She was crazy, okay? I could have stayed with her if I wanted to.
Somebody done something.
Don't you have somewhere else you could stand?
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but, you're kind of in my living room.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, stay. It's just that I wasn't expecting any company. I would have cleaned up if I knew.
Do you have anything to eat?
Not here. I know we could get something.
Where? I haven't eaten in 4 days.
You ate 4 days ago and you're already hungry? Glutton.
It was half a bag of potato chips out of a trash can, not a steak dinner.
Relax, kid. I'm just kidding. If you're gonna live on the streets, you need to get a sense of humor. And a poke.
A what?
A poke. A shiv. A knife. You need a knife. God.
Oh, yeah, a poke. I just didn't hear you right.
Sure. Kind of like this one here.
That's a nice one.
No, it's not. I pulled this out of a dead guy 4 blocks from here.
A dead guy?
That's right.
He's just lying in the street with a knife sticking out of him.
Well, he was in an alley. But I moved him to a dumpster.
You moved him?
Well, you see, I not only pulled the knife out of him, I also stuck it in him in the first place. You want to know what he did? He squatted in my fucking living room when he should have been thumbing his ass back to home.
Enough! Hey, that's enough! There were people that said if he went to California, he must have died there because he was never heard from again. But he didn't run away. I know my own son well enough to know that he didn't run away. Even though they said they had proof. It was in the National Geographic. There was a photographer out there taking pictures of homeless kids. One of them happened to look like my boy. A lot like him. Only it's not him. His own mother would know, wouldn't she? Bullshit. It's not him. It's nothing like him. It's not him. My wife and I, we aren't regulars at church. We believe in the Word. We believe that the Word was made flesh. His son was taken from him just like mine. And it angered him just like it angers me. And if I had the power to punish, after a while, I started to develop my own theories about what had happened that night. And when things started to make the least amount of sense, I started to come up with crazy ideas.
Goodbye, shitbag school forever!
Goodbye, gym class. Oh,
Goodbye, fat meddling teachers.
Goodbye, principals and vice principals.
Goodbye to this old town.
Goodbye, Grover's Corners.
Guys, I have an idea. That's one. Very funny. How about we all get in my mom's car and drive down to Stoll?
Why? We got alcohol and a fire and girls.
I like the idea.
Me too.
You guys know about it, right?
The whole hell thing. Yeah, I've heard about it.
It's real.
What is it?
Well, as you may or probably don't know, Princess, there is a fiery pit of darkness in the center of the earth, and that's where the devil lives. And if you're a bad princess, you go there.
Come on, just tell us.
The rumor is about 140 years ago, the devil made a baby with a witch. But the baby was so badly deformed that it couldn't even walk. It died after only a few months. His bones are still buried at Stoll.
Bullshit! Bullshit!
He haunts that cemetery going in and out of the old abandoned church.
And inside the church it stays dry in the rain, even though the roof is torn to shreds.
Right, that's right. And the devil himself appears there every Halloween at midnight.
Yeah, actually I heard that because so many people went down there last Halloween. The cops all made him go home right before midnight, so no one really knows if he appeared or not.
No, he appears all right. I heard it from some guys at school.
What guys?
They told me not to say.
Okay.
You are so full of shit, Randy.
He appears 2 places simultaneously. Stoll, Kansas, and someplace in India.
Fuck that, India. Let's go right now.
The town was called Stoll back in the days because of all the witchcraft.
Indiana?
They had to change the name because of all the people kept getting hanged.
Yeah.
That's not true. They named it after the postmaster or something. I read about it in the paper.
Do you guys want to go or are you chicken?
What the hell, I'll go.
What?
Yeah, me too. It's either there or go home. And Satan can't be much worse than my stepfather.
Well, if they're going, I'm going. God, I can't believe I said that.
Nobody calls me chicken.
Christ.
We're going back in time. We gotta get it up to 88.
It would have only taken about a half an hour to get to Stull from where the party was. If they left that party together, I can assure you that something terrible happened, because no one is talking about it.
Here, pull it right here.
Are we trespassing or something?
Who's gonna find out? Are you guys seriously scared?
You're not even a little bit spooked.
It's a cemetery in the middle of the night. I'm a little bit put off, but I'm not scared. What are we supposed to do here anyways? Are we supposed to scare each other?
We're not supposed to do anything. We just go in there, and if nothing happens, well then great. But if something does happen, you can say that I gave you the best night of your lives.
I can think of a few guys who can say that about me
Yeah,
already.
you could.
Shh, did you guys hear that?
Is someone gonna hold me close or what?
Shh. There it was again.
What the hell was that?
It sounded like it came from the church.
Maybe we should turn back.
We're not turning back. I'm gonna prove to you guys once for all there's nothing to be scared of in this old church. Hello? Satin? Would you be at all interested in a brand new, never been used set of encyclopedia?
That is not funny.
Yeah, her dad really is an encyclopedia salesman. What? Shut up.
Too bad it's not raining, or else we could find out if those rumors were true.
Okay. We came, we saw, so we can go now. What the hell is that?
It's probably somebody outside playing a prank on us. Randy probably got someone to follow us out here to mess with us. It's not funny.
I didn't get anybody to follow us.
We need to run to the car like right now.
Yeah, man. I don't think that was a prank.
You guys okay?
Yeah, you guys
What was that?
Randy?
Randy, get up. This isn't funny. Randy, get up!
Randy! Oh my God, Randy! Get up! Get up right now!
What the hell was that just now, man? What the hell was that? Oh my God. Oh my God.
He's dead.
What?
Oh my God. Oh my God. We've got to call somebody. We've got to do something!
And tell them what? That a gust of wind blew through an abandoned church and killed our friend? No. They're gonna think that we had something to do with it.
We had to do something!
No, he's right. We have to hide the body.
What? No! No! I won't have any part of this!
Yes, you will. You will help us hide the body, and you will go along with whatever story we come up with. And you can never tell anyone what happened here today.
So maybe that isn't exactly what happened. But I can guarantee you that at some point, somebody said something similar. Some people suggested that Randy had killed himself. If so, he must have found a pretty good hiding spot to not be found after all these years. Or else, somebody moved him. The girlfriend. She was a wreck, a disaster. She made Randy carve her name on trees all over town. I must have told him 100 times to forget about her and to move on, but he wouldn't listen. She changed him. Just like Eve in the Garden of Eden, she filled him with the knowledge of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, of good and of evil.
Tell me something about Randy Leach.
I don't know. Just a normal guy, I guess. What about you?
No. You always do that. You always say you're just a normal guy, and then you ask me about myself. You're a great conversation changer, but I don't want to do that this time.
Okay. What do you want to know?
I want to know about you. I see you at school. You don't play football. You don't play baseball. You mow lawns all over town. But what about you? Tell me what you want. Not in life, or even this month. But tell me what you want right now.
I'd like to kiss you.
What? I couldn't hear you.
I'd like to kiss you.
I'm sorry, you'd like to miss me?
I'd like to kiss you.
If you really love me?
You want me to cut myself?
I'll do it too. It'll be a love pact. We'll do it together.
You're a lunatic.
Isn't there an ounce of romance in you, Randy Leach?
There must have been 50 kids that swore on a stack of Bibles that the girlfriend was at the party.
I wasn't at any party!
And for a long time, my wife and I believed that she had something to do with it.
What are you looking at him for?
I wasn't.
Are you guys through or aren't you?
Through. We never started. Randy Leach means nothing to me.
Nothing, huh? Is that what you're gonna say about me next week? That I mean nothing to you?
What are you talking about?
I see the way that you look at him. I know what it is to have a history with someone. It doesn't just go away because you say the magic breakup words. There's still something there. He's still hanging on. Look at him.
He knows we're finished. I made it very clear.
Maybe not clear enough.
Can I cut in?
Fuck off, Randy! What are you even doing at this party? No one even wants you here, man.
Will you dance with me?
Nobody wants you at this party, Randy.
You don't mean that.
I mean it!
Stop! Randy, what are you doing? You can't keep doing this. You can't keep following me to every party I go to. We're not together anymore. We're finished.
You don't mean that.
I do mean it, Randy. I meant it in school last month. I meant it on the phone last week, and I mean it standing here today. I'm finished. I'm moving on.
With him? He's a joker. He's a drug dealer. And everybody knows it. Except for the cops, maybe. But maybe I'll tell them!
Keep your voice down. I'm with him now.
Him. So suddenly. After all the laughs and intimacy, all the words we shared just disappear because you're with him now. I'll kill him.
You don't want another beating, do you?
I'll beat his ass. I'll call the cops on his ass.
Randy, you've got to get over this. Move on with your life. I'm not in your future.
Then I have no future.
Some people suggested that maybe he OD'd, threw up in his sleep. Everybody else was frightened, afraid that they'd be blamed for it. So they moved him.
Oh my God.
I can't believe you actually did it.
Fucking idiots!
Oh my God.
No.
We gotta get rid of the body. And you can never tell anyone what happened here today.
Never. Never. Never.
Never.
For one night, all of the words were together, like a completed puzzle. But the moment they left that party with my son, whether he was dead or alive, the puzzle was dismantled. Everybody took a few pieces, scattered them in different places over the years. Once in a while, someone brings me a word or two.
Mr. Leach, sir, I know what happened to your son.
Our son didn't drop off the face of the earth. He wasn't swallowed by some fire that erupted from the bowels of the planet. In the fall of that year, there were rumors, and a few people said things. The wind blew hard and shook them up. Maybe they could just no longer live with the guilt. What are you doing? What are you doing sneaking around here?
I was just worried about Randy, that's all. Wanted to know what you guys had heard about him, and
What about you? What are you doing creeping around our place?
Nothing. I wasn't doing nothing.
We had a car catch fire sitting right in our driveway not long after Randy disappeared. I know that it was arson, but once again, the capable police force suggested.
You got yourself a defective car there, sir.
It's my experience that cars don't catch fire for no reason. Randy loved animals. He was a sensitive kid, even when he was little. He never got into any fights. He used to raise rabbits when he was young. The last dog we had was a stray, a German shepherd that Randy took in. She used to hide underneath the house when there was thunder. Crackers was her name. Strange how she too disappeared not long after Randy. The house was full of things that he'd left after that night. After a while, my wife and I finally decided that we had to get rid of some of them. We turned his bedroom into the headquarters for the search. Nothing was panning out. We tried everything that we could think of. The police, on the other hand, had already found themselves a suspect.
It was the father.
The father!
Sir, we would like you to take a lie detector test.
What?
Randy told us what an abusive father he was.
He did it! Lately, I've been sitting in my son's room, sitting in his desk chair, lying down on his bed, going through his books from school. And you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that play about Salem, where the young girls point fingers and accuse innocent men and women of things that they didn't do, when a father is accused of...
He did it! He did it!
He did it! That's ridiculous. How could you suggest such a
So
thing?
you won't take a lie detector test.
No!
he's hiding something.
He's afraid.
He's guilty.
Hey,
Hey,
what are you doing in my room?
you've been out awful late.
Oh yeah? That's me knowing you'd find out.
Don't you backtalk me, son.
Don't you backtalk me, son.
What the hell is the matter with you? I buy you things. Your mother and I bought you that new riding mower. We got you that great car. We treat you like a king. And this is how you repay us? You come home stinking of liquor and
Can
smelling...
you even hear yourself? How do you repay me? I'm the perfect son. I get good grades. I don't do drugs. I dress clean. And then I fall in love. And you hate the girl.
That girl is a menace, and you would do better off forgetting her name.
I won't. I can't. Please.
God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son. He didn't do me the service of asking if it was all right to take my only one. You might expect us to give up on God, my wife and I, but we don't. We hold him in our hearts, and we hope that he'll look our way. Hope that the wind will blow and bring us some news. There are people who think that I did something to my son. They say that we were lying about the fact that he didn't come home that night. that we made up the story about standing in our driveway at 6 o'clock in the morning, staring out at the highway, wondering where he was because he'd never been that late before. We stood there in our pajamas in the cool morning, both of us thinking the worst. What are you doing? What are you doing sneaking around here at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Nothing. I wasn't doing nothing.
That's the way most of them acted. I'd start to ask them questions, and they'd start to cry like it hurt them not to answer me, but they still wouldn't answer me. I finally took the goddamn lie detector test, and I passed it with flying colors. But I wouldn't let them make my wife take it. She had been through enough. Enough!
Mr. Leach, did you kill your son?
No! If anyone killed him, it was the police. By not lifting a finger. By being more preoccupied with what I was doing. Worrying that I might solve the case and make them look bad. There are people in this town, in this state, that think that I'm crazy for pushing this case so far. They say that I'm obsessed. And I guess to a point I am. We tried everything within our power to get the state of Kansas to help us look for our son. The FBI wouldn't help. The KBI barely lifted a finger. And finally, we had to turn to other alternatives for answers. We talked to a half a dozen psychics and various other interpreters of the spirit world. They told me to dig along a fence row here or inquire at a truck stop there. Nothing ever came of it. Not until we talked to one psychic in particular.
My method is simple. I take someone who is very close to the missing person.
I'm Randy's aunt.
Good. I'll put you into a trance and then ask you to retrace the final steps of your nephew.
That sounds good. Let's get started.
All right. Empty your mind. Erase the words. Imagine a blank palette where nothing exists except for perhaps existence itself. Relax. Let your arms and legs fall numb, and let your mind fall silent. And drift back to the night of April 15th, 1988. Go back to the night of the party. Go back into the mind of Randy Leach.
It wasn't long before she was totally out. I don't normally believe in this sort of thing. There was something about this guy.
Randy,
Yes?
can you tell me what happened to you on the night of April 15th, 1988?
I left my house in the early evening. I drove my mother's car downtown. I saw some kids playing in the street. Playing frisbee.
We know that's true. We know for a fact that Randy stopped off and talked to some younger kids who were playing frisbee in the street. But we never told his aunt or the psychic because we didn't think it mattered.
Where else did you go, Randy?
I stopped off at a gas station. I got something to drink.
What is it?
Something happened.
What happened?
I don't know. I see some kids. People I know. I got 2 Pepsis and a couple of candy bars.
That too was true.
We're driving in my mother's car.
Who is we?
Me and him. Me and them.
It's long been debated about who was in my son's car that night. The person who people say it was won't admit to anything.
Where did you go?
The bridge.
But first, we're gonna go and check on the Mustang.
I want to show it to him. After that, I said I'd take him to the bridge.
He
He wants me to smoke with him, but I don't trust him.
Why not?
We've been in a fight because I threatened to call the police about his friends who are drug dealers.
What did you do at the bridge?
He's smoking and I
I
remember taking a drink from my Pepsi. It tastes bad, so I throw the ball out of the car over the side of the bridge.
I went down there, below the old iron bridge, and I found an old Pepsi bottle that looked like it had been there for a while. It had some sort of strange residue in the bottom of it.
We saw someone choke Randy.
I was never in your son's car, sir.
Hold it a goddamn second here. We are telling this slowly. I gave the bottle to the police to have it tested. They later told me that it was someone's old spit jar. I should have had that bottle tested myself.
We're in a little town, Greenleaf.
Greenleaf.
There's a gas
Gas
station
station.
owned by a family known as the Watsons. I'm
sleeping in my car behind the gas station.
Randy, are you still there? Randy, where are you now?
We rushed up there immediately. You know it was 3 o'clock in the morning. We knocked on the door and woke up Mr. Watson. Sir, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm sorry about the lateness of the hour, but I'm looking for my son, Randy. He may have come through here a while back. If I could just get you to look at this picture. The police made us a picture of what Randy might look like as he got older. This is him. If he never went to that party. This is him. If none of these words existed.
I'm sorry, but your son is very confused about his condition. Even in the world of spirits, he cannot fully come to terms with his own fate.
There's something I left out. Something I didn't say before because at the time I didn't know what to make of it. But right after Randy disappeared, a couple of young girls came up to me with some information.
We saw someone choke Randy. They opened up his mouth and they shoved something down his throat just when he was starting to sober up.
But then, just like dried leaves, the wind blew the words away. Girls, do you remember what you told me right after Randy disappeared? Could you say it again to the authorities?
I'm sorry. We don't know what you're talking about.
Another psychic told me something interesting.
There's a cemetery where your son disappeared.
There was.
If you stand by the tombstone, which bears the name of McGrath, face north. You will then walk up and observe 57 faces. Beneath where you stand will be the body of your son.
I dug everywhere that the psychic suggested. Nothing. My wife and I sent out letters to all of the people that were at the party, begging them for information, anonymously if they wished. There was money in it for them if they could just tell us where to find our son. We got anonymous tips for years after that. None of them ever panned out. If I were to give you a tiny piece of a Picasso painting, you wouldn't have the slightest idea where to place it on the blank canvas. Hell, if I gave you 10 pieces, you still couldn't make any sense out of it. Yes.
He's in Perry Lake.
We found something.
We were just out walking the countryside and we found a severed foot. A human foot.
Is it his? Is it Randy's?
I'm sorry, sir. There are other cases around here. I can't spend my whole time on this one.
It took the police about 10 years to get that foot DNA tested.
This actually belongs to some kid in Lawrence.
You mean his mother has been in the dark all this time, just like us? Of course, the police were applauded for their investigative efforts. Bravo! Bravo!
Hey, you shut up! You shut up before you say something you can't take back.
We found some bones, human bones, in a basement in Lawrence.
This bone isn't even old enough to be your son's.
One day, this guy came up to me. And he said something. Something so strange, so unbelievable, so horrible that he couldn't have made it up.
Oh, demon lord!
Oh, trusted one from the hellfire beneath.
We call upon you to rise Rise and burn out this one's beady eyes.
We send to thee a precious boy. His juices will run down your chin until your thirst is quenched, and we, your servants, have satisfied your needs.
We carve him in your name. Destroy his heaven-bound soul in your honor.
Give me the knife.
The Dark Lord will remember me if I am the one to make the first cut.
But I've known you since first grade.
Do it!
Ah! Some witnesses say that one was bragging a few days later about still having the knife, and this one said that he had Randy's car keys.
O Dark Lord, we have sent him to thee. We have torn the flesh from his bones. Now send us your infinite power.
Ah! I saw something. I think I might have seen something.
He went to the police first, but they didn't believe him.
All right, so you want to make a report?
I've been missing for 2 weeks. My father reported me gone.
All right, so what happened to you?
I was drugged and abducted.
Drugged and abducted. Fascinating story. What did you thumb a ride out to Kansas City and spend 2 weeks in a brothel, stoned out of your mind? Are you embarrassed to tell me what really happened to you? You're full of shit.
I didn't realize it then, but even the most inept of police officers would have given this boy a chance to tell his story. It wasn't until later when I realized why they were so eager to dismiss him. Don't be afraid. I'll listen.
I know about these people. They've got hoods and robes in their basements. They're like real life Satan worshipers.
Satan worshippers?
They drugged me. The night of the party, at least I think it was the night of the party. They drugged me and they took me into a cemetery and they led me into the woods and made me go into a cave, and they were talking to me the entire time, telling me things and scaring me.
They drugged you? A cave? What is this about?
While I was in there, they kept me drugged. They kept me in this kind of cage, but I saw something. Someone hanging. It looked like your son.
Randy?
It might have been. I told the police about it. They laughed. They called me a liar and locked me up for doing drugs. I gotta admit, before we go any further, that I used drugs.
So you're saying that these Satan worshippers killed my son?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
But what about you? How did you get away?
I don't know! Maybe I didn't give them any reason to kill me. Maybe I didn't give them any trouble. Maybe they just wanted someone to see what they'd done.
The third rule of the 11 satanic rules of the earth is, when in another's lair, show him respect, or else do not go there.
Do you think that you could show us where this cave is?
Yes, sir, I believe I could.
He says that the Midwest is rife with Satan worshippers.
They're around these parts. We deal with them every day. We just don't know who they are exactly.
You've seen too many horror movies.
I'm not crazy.
Oh, fine, not crazy. Come on. Show us where it is.
The police took him to the wrong part of town for him to look for the cave.
Still seeing the cave there?
They tricked him on purpose.
We're here.
They wanted
Where you said?
to discredit him.
The cemetery.
I told you he was lying. I'm tired of you people wasting my goddamn time.
They didn't believe you, but I do. Let's try again.
Here it is. This is the entrance to the cave. We entered through here.
Find all sorts of stuff in the cave.
See those pictures on the wall over there?
They were mostly of Satan. Some of them were bigger than life. Everywhere that we looked, there were remnants of dead animals, birds, cats, dogs.
The 10th rule of the 11 satanic rules of the earth is, do not harm non-human animals unless attacked or for food.
My God, no one's ever going to believe this.
Hey! What are you doing up there? That area is off limits! If you don't get out of there right now, we'll arrest you and throw you in jail for obstruction of justice!
What the police didn't realize was that we had already taken pictures. We had been in that cave long before they ever dared to venture that way.
Sir, we searched every inch of that cave and found no evidence of any kind of satanic activity whatsoever.
That's impossible.
It would have taken 10 men, several hours to clean that place up. Are you suggesting that police officers, that law enforcement officers are working to cover up the misdoings of a gang of miscreants?
Miscreants? I don't even know what that word means, do you?
What about him? What about his story?
Oh, him? He's lying. I'm not lying.
I swear I'm not lying. I took pictures.
Oh, fine. You took pictures, all right. We'll
So
give
they
you
gave
a
him a
goddamn
lie detector test.
Where were you on the night of April 15th, 1988?
I was drugged and abducted by a group of Satan worshippers whose their names are they live at
He only thinks it's the truth because he was high on drugs. He actually believes his stupid story. So, where are these pictures?
There was a lot to what that boy had to say. After all, he knew some of the Satanists personally. One of them told him they were going to sacrifice a 9-year-old boy. And for those of you who follow the news around these parts, later that very summer, a 9-year-old boy was murdered, ripped to shreds in the river. The police quickly arrested and convicted a transient whom the boy had befriended. The guy was mentally retarded. He didn't know what he was being charged with, much less what he was confessing to. Only I heard drugs were involved. It always comes down to drugs in the Midwest.
The 9th rule of the 11 satanic rules of the earth is, do not harm little children.
They're out there. They did exist, and they still do. Reports by witnesses of seeing satanic rituals are not uncommon. Stoll's church was supposed to be a gateway to hell, for Christ's sake, before they tore it down. There was a woman at the Lawrence High School a while back who described growing up in a satanic household. Said that they used to lock her in a cooler filled with rattlesnakes, which would then bite her repeatedly. When she didn't die, they said it was because Satan had protected her. In reality, they had milked the poison out of those snakes long before they ever put her in there. They raped her and molested her and did all of the terrible things that you could think of. So, the question becomes, why would these Satanists want to kill my son? Some would say it's because they're everywhere and they account for many of the missing persons cases that go unsolved because there's no clear motive. Perhaps they weren't Satan worshipers at all, but were merely pretending to be, to hide whatever else it was they were doing, which may have been drugs, meth labs. The story that makes the most sense about what happened to my son that night goes something like this.
I'm headed out.
You taking your mother's car?
Yep.
Well, you better put some gas in it. I'm not sure. And you remember, don't drink and drive.
Don't worry. I already promised Mom.
That's all I need to hear. He never broke a promise to his mother. Never.
Don't bother waiting up for me. I don't know how late I'll be.
Well, you'll be home by curfew if you know what's good for you.
Well, I'll sure give it a try, Pop, but I don't know. There might be a lot of pretty ladies at this party.
I'll give him my regards.
Hey there, hon. Don't know how you can eat so much candy and not get fat.
Hey, M&Ms and Snickers are good for you.
Real health nut, huh?
I'm a growing boy. Want to get big and strong like my dad would.
Well, nothing like a mountain of sugar to make your bones stronger.
Well, you might be right about that.
Ooh. Impressive. Maybe I'll take some candy home to my husband, get him to buff up.
You know, I could talk to him for you. Show him the Randy Leach workout system.
Hey, Randy, man, where's your new car? I thought you said you were getting a Mustang.
No,
That ain't a Mustang.
no, that's my mom's car. My Mustang's still getting fixed up.
So you going to this party tonight?
I don't know. Thought I might just go over to Lawrence and cruise for the ladies.
Lawrence? What the fuck you want to go to Lawrence for? Man, this party's gonna be hot, smoking hot. Hot girls, cheap liquor, good weed. It's the perfect equation.
I'm not hearing any of this, okay?
Well, I can't drink tonight because I'm in my mom's car, and I promised I wouldn't drink and drive.
All right, well, you boys just behave yourselves, okay?
Hey, man, you gotta come to this party.
Why? I thought you were pissed at me.
Well, I was pissed at you, but I got over it.
It was a stupid argument in the first place.
Well, you did threaten to rat out my friends. But hey, I told them you were cool. You get over it.
Well, I don't know if I got over it.
Randy, man, I told you. These are not the kind of people that you want to have angry with you.
They're just local screw-ups. I'm not scared of them. Besides, we don't need drug dealers in Linwood.
Okay, whatever. Are you coming to this party tonight or not?
I think not. My cousin's in town. I'll probably go hang out with him.
Well, can you at least give me a ride out to the old Iron Bridge? Got kind of an appointment.
I know what that means. How about this? How about you skip your little appointment and come look at the new Mustang with me?
How about I go out there with you and then you give me a ride to the bridge?
Whatever, we'll see.
Hey. Did you pay for the Mustang with lawn mowing money or what?
It was a pre-graduation present from my parents.
Must be nice. Nice parents, nice car, nice girl, nice life.
Hey, fellas, how she look?
Whew.
Beautiful. Even more beautiful than I remembered.
And that's just the beginning. Pretty soon she'll be perfect.
Nothing's too good for the perfect son.
Here, have a beer. Make you feel less alone in the world.
Maybe I should have two.
Hey, you want one, Randy?
No thanks, I'm good.
Hey, more for me.
Hey, can you float me alone so I can grab a soda in there?
Sure. Hey, grab me a couple of Pepsis, okay?
Two?
I've been out mowing all day long.
Okay.
The story basically makes sense up to this point. Then the magic bullet is fired and proceeds to rip through logic and order. The question is, where did they go from the mechanics? To the bridge or straight to the party? The kids who I believe say that Randy could barely walk or talk when he got to the party. And the mechanic, who has no reason to lie, says that he was sober when he left there. Let's go back to the gas station for a minute.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Anytime.
So you're gonna go to that party?
I'm thinking about it. Can you give me a ride?
Sure. But hey, let's go check on the Mustang first. I want to remind her that I'm still around.
She sure is a beaut, Randy. I gotta admit, I'm a little jealous.
Ooh.
Better than hot girls, cheap liquor, and good weed, huh?
Yeah, right.
Hey, you guys want a beer?
Absolutely.
No thanks, I'm good.
There were two kinds of people at this party. Those who knew what was happening and those who did not.
Whoa, hey Randy, man. You feeling okay?
Whoa, why don't you hang out with me until you can at least walk, all right, man?
You watch it. Make sure he doesn't leave.
He's not going anywhere. I got his car keys.
All right.
I kept him close to me most of the night because he was in such bad shape. Guess I should have given him a ride home. Stop it. Knock it off.
Knock it off.
I mean it. I mean it.
I saw someone shoving drugs down his throat.
Most likely whatever was in the Pepsi wasn't enough.
Nobody's gonna sacrifice me.
Something about a sacrifice. Witnesses heard Randy shout that shortly before he disappeared.
It never happened.
We saw it.
I had a neighbor come up to me and tell me something interesting.
I seen somebody come out the next morning and pour punch all over the spot where the bonfire was.
Now, why would they do that?
The entire place was spit polished clean as of 7 a.m. Who in the hell cleans up an outside party that fast? And why?
This is what happens to narcs.
Nobody's gonna sacrifice me.
Oh, shut up, Randy. Just shut up. It's your own big mouth that got you into trouble in the first place. You know that, don't you?
Okay, we got him here and he's drugged. We did our part, okay?
You're not finished yet. You come with us to the ritual. It's important that you be there.
How long are we gonna have to keep him here?
Long enough so everyone gets a good look at us, at the party. We established the fact that he was drunk. We were all just having a good time. We'll wait until the place clears out.
How can we be sure he's not just gonna run away?
There's enough people here that knows exactly what's going to happen. Just let him run free. He's too fucked up to even speak.
There was someone who saw Randy being put in the trunk of a car. Said who it was, what kind of car it was, even what time it was. Everything that a policeman needs to know.
Evening, officer.
How's everything going?
Exactly as planned. He's drugged to the gills. He'll be gone in the morning, and no one will ever find him.
Where are you gonna take him?
A buddy of mine's got a big piece of machinery in his backyard. We're gonna bury the body in the car. It won't never be found.
Or
I'm shoving in my trunk and driving him personally out to Greenleaf, Kansas. There's a pond out there that won't ever run dry.
Or
Bear Lake. Me and another one of our little group are gonna swim the car out to the center and watch it sink.
I walked the perimeter of Bear Lake. Not long after Randy disappeared, I found a grommet, just like you'd find on the same make and model of car that Randy was driving that night. It was like it had just washed up on shore. Care to guess whatever became of that lead?
Are you sure he hasn't talked to anybody yet?
Did you see the FBI all over Linwood?
All right, let's get our story straight.
A system of caves near town maintain a temperature of about 55 degrees. They're good for storing substances that don't do well in extreme heat or cold. Today, they're owned by companies that store their products there. They have security guards and cameras. But back then, they were open. They're big enough to drive a car through. Open to anyone who dared brave them.
All right, just take care of him and don't make a spectacle out of it.
He's Randy Leach, not baby Jessica. No one is ever going to find him.
Hey, Randy. Are you feeling okay? You don't look so good.
I think you've had enough, man. You can't drive home tonight. You know that, don't you?
My keys, my mom's car.
Don't worry about him. I'll be his designated driver.
Come on. Get up.
Where are we going? I have to go home.
You're not going home tonight, Randy.
You see, you spoiled little narc. You messed up and made enemies with the wrong group of people.
We're gonna take you to our lair, and we're going to sacrifice you.
Nobody's gonna sacrifice me.
They paraded him around that graduation party. There were more people involved in it than what anyone suspects. That's what I believe. And in the 18 years since it happened, not one of them has cracked. These weren't normal children. They were monsters, plain and simple.
We can put him in my car. You still have his keys?
She probably still has them today.
You take his car, I'll follow in mine. The rest will work out later.
And so they drove, their headlights pushing through the darkness. There was tire tracks, there was evidence, and there was a crime. All of those things have vanished today. All but one. There's no way of knowing if it happened that night or if they waited. The man whose name I know, who has since disappeared, who thought that he saw my boy hanging in a cave, thought it was the night of the party, but he wasn't sure.
What's going on? What are you guys doing?
Could have kept our son there. After all, the big day for Satan worshippers was only 2 weeks away. They call it Volkspargesnacht, or something German like that. There's no way of knowing whether they did it that night or if they waited. But either way, it did happen.
But I've known you since first grade. Ah!
And now, we've arrived at that moment, that dreaded moment, when someone says,
And you can never tell anyone about what happened here today.
and they never did, so far as I know. Oh, there's a whisper here or there, a word, a broken phrase, but always and only in whispers. And now, we are at the winter of our discontent. There's a poem in one of Randy's books from school, something by Wordsworth.
Child is father of the man.
Child is father of the man. Started to cry when I read that. Randy was 17 the night he disappeared. 17 the night he died, probably. He's 17 in the minds of his mother and me. He will be 17 until the end of time. No computer aging program can ever change that. He will never marry, have children of his own. He will never grow old to look like his father. They are in their 30s, maybe even their 40s by now. The murderers. And in the nearly 20 years since it happened, they haven't said a word. They keep their secrets, sitting on them, hiding them deep in their hearts. They are nothing but a bunch of hardened, guilt-ridden monsters who will never get a decent night's sleep the rest of their lives. Look at them! The shame and the embarrassment on their faces is the only thing that Randy's mother and I have left to relish in this world. Why won't you say something? Say something! Say what you did! I wasn't there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't see anything.
I know something.
It isn't right. It isn't right. When children die before their parents. Words are out there. They're hidden in crevices, at the bottoms of lakes and rivers. Won't you go out and help me find them? Bring him back to me!
Bring around the rosy
Pocket full of posies.
ashes.
Ashes.
We all fall down.